Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on TNN. I'm so excited to be back from DC to share with everybody exactly what my last few weeks have been since you all saw me last week on TNN. I hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving Day holiday. I know I did, and I want to just kind of recap a little bit about that. There are so many people that I coach and that I deal with on a daily basis that talk about that they're struggling with their family members. They're either estranged from their parents or some children, which is really, really sad. Siblings haven't talked to each other for decades. And that's so sad. And I understand that that happens in a lot of families. And I'm so blessed to say that we don't have those problems in my family. And I know that I'm very grateful for that. And I know that I am blessed for that. So for those of you watching this episode of TNN tonight, I would just encourage you, as I encouraged a client just the other day, to be the bigger person and say you're sorry, or be the bigger person and go out of your way to extend the olive branch. And a lot of times when I speak with people and I really sit down and listen to what the problem is, it's egos, it's pride, it's anger, and one person doesn't want to cave or give in. And that's not really what we're here for, in my opinion. So I would suggest for those of you who are watching, who are in this situation, to extend the olive branch and say you're sorry and pick up the phone and end this, because this hardship that a lot of families are dealing with, you don't know what tomorrow brings, and tomorrow is not promised. So I always say, what would you feel like if something were to happen to that loved one and you never reached out and you never tried? So that would be my suggestion. I had a wonderful time in Palm Springs. So my daughter Tori and I went to go visit my mother and father, who recently moved there. And I did TNN from the living room sofa. So I encourage you, if you haven't seen the Crazy Train episode of TNN News last week, Thanksgiving Day, I recommend you go to YouTube. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go to YouTube, Hey Tana TV, or just put my name in the search bar. You'll find me, or look below. We've got it there. I've got Paul and John also helping me in tonight's episode. So once again, if you want to say something, please, I want to make this show all about being interactive. So if you want to ask me something, or you hear something that it inspires you, please, by all means, jump aboard. Like we had people all over the globe last week piping in when they got to see my family. And so it was my mom and my dad and my mother and my father, and we were going to play this game that my sister Mara thought of. And it's Who Knows Tana Better. And they were going to ask my mom, they were going to ask questions, and my mom and dad were going to answer it. I'm going to write down the correct answer, and whoever wins, well, I don't know what they got. And oh my gosh. So it started my mom and my dad. My mom brings the pumpkin pie to the party. My dad had a couple drinks ahead of time because he lost a bet. And so they were feeding me drinks. And it was insanity. I think at one point we had 8 people on the sofa. We had my sister-in-law, who's the lieutenant for LAPD. People wanted to talk to Renee, so Renee came over. She's sitting on my lap. Then we got to talking about going in Renee's squad car, and my niece Sydney, who came from New York, she had the opportunity to do that. So Sydney's on our lap. And it was so much fun. And no, my family is not perfect. And by no means would I ever say that we are. We are the furthest thing. We are dysfunctional. We have mistakes, and we make mistakes, and we want to kill each other. But at the end of the day, my dad was funny as heck. You are so right. And my mother is crazy. Who brings pie to the party? Like, she knows that this is a network. She knows that this is a show, but she doesn't care, man. She showed up with pumpkin pie. And I loved it. Cindy, you guys were so much fun. The Front Row Joes were piping in. And we had a great time. So I love that a lot of you have carved this time on Thursday nights out for TNN. And I love that about you guys, because I want this to be a fun, interactive, network where I tell you what's going on. I tell you how I see things, what I want to share with you all. You get a little life coaching, you get a little Tana on the Run, you get a little Trump 101, you get whatever you want. And I hope that you're all having a good time, because we are as well. So anyways, Thanksgiving was fun, and we had a great time. The weather was wonderful, and then I knew I had to hurry back because I was going off to DC. And I didn't tell a lot of people about the trip just because there's a lot of jealousy. People worked hard. They feel that they are entitled to this perks, and I didn't want to make anybody feel jealous that they didn't get an invite and I did. But at the end of the day, I was very proud and honored and humbled that I was chosen and I got the invitation to come. So I couldn't wait to go, and I brought my husband Curtis. It was his first time ever being at the White House. It was his first time just soaking up the energy of the MAGA movement. He's in television, so he's not able to do a lot. He works a lot, so he's not able to come with me to a lot of things. And he just was taking it all in. And I was so happy to have him there as my arm candy and everybody's eye candy. And we had a wonderful time. Let me tell you how it went from the minute we arrived at the White House till the minute they said it's time to go. So we arrived to the White House, and Secret Service was there and checking everybody's bags, of course, which we all knew. And then we get in, and you can just smell the fir, the evergreen, the trees. They were all real. And so it's just, you walked in, and Curtis and I, we were greeted by this amazing tree that, of course, we had to stop and take a picture of. And there was like an aisle of red trees with a green carpet that just was so glorious and so gorgeous. And I was in my red dress that I got from my sister's store. She styled me in Palm Springs, and we had just a wonderful time. So as soon as we arrive, we're by the beautiful tree. They have champagne flutes, gold rimmed champagne flutes, handing us champagne if we should so desire. Non-alcoholic drinks if you should so desire, but of course I didn't so desire that because I love champagne. And then we went to the coat check, and I actually took off my beautiful Bergdorf Goodman fur coat that I won 13 years ago on The Apprentice. One of my rewards was I got to go on a shopping spree at Bergdorf Goodman. So I'm actually wearing the fur that I won on The Apprentice 13 years ago. So it was just so cool. Like, who would have thought when I was in Donald Trump's boardroom 13 years ago that I would then be in his White House wearing a coat that I get to wear like once a year. It was just so amazing. And so Curtis checked in our coats, and then we walked into the Red Room, and in there, the history in all these rooms and the pictures. And then we walked in a library where George Washington's sword was, and first editions of all the literature pieces that every single one of us watching had to read in high school, first editions. And then there was a bathroom that had these amazing like napkins or paper towels. And of course I wanted to take one, but I didn't want to be caught, stealing. So I didn't. But just everything was like gorgeous and over the top and glamorous and first class. And the one room topped the next room. And then the China room and I love China, and my mother loves China, so I was raised on China. The China and all the sets, and the table was displayed so perfectly, and where they have formal dinners. And then we went into the diplomats room, and that's where Curtis and I took a picture right in front of the mantle where George Washington's, portrait is hung. And it's an iconic piece. And honestly, once we get into the story a little bit later, I'll tell you about I'm not going to do a Christmas card, but look at that picture. It was picture perfect. So if y'all are on Instagram, go follow me, like it, or whatever, follow me. That picture's there. And so many people have said, Tana, that's got to be your Christmas card. But anyway, so we went around the corner and from one room to the next room. It was glorious. And then the food. So we get to the top of the stairs and there are all these um, military, veterans, people in uniform, captains in the most gorgeous uniform, polished, poised people that are serving our country, dressed impeccably. There are greeters. And so they were saying, and in this room, you're going to find dinner or whatever they called it. I don't know. Go on in and eat, more or less. I turned the corner, and it was the largest room I'd ever seen, but every detail was immaculate, from the china to the table to the fountains with, silver platters and things tearing off of them. And my eye went immediately, of course, to the champagne table, but I'd already had a glass, had a clutch purse, so I didn't have an extra hand. But I went right to this table that was beef Wellington. And he was carving the beef on this beautiful crepe-like thing, pouring the au jus, and he handed me a fork. And I didn't want to say, like, I need a knife, but I thought, they got this covered. I'm going to bet that this meat doesn't need cut. And I was absolutely correct. The meat was like butter. Your fork cut it. So I put the meat in my mouth and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was heaven on earth. And then they had an eggnog that was spiked and that was yummy. And then you went to the table and there was salmon and tuna and uh, all sorts of stuff, potatoes, and you just everything you can imagine. Just imagine the best food in your life. That was at the table. And then I ran into some of my Trump friends from the campaign from the beginning. And one of my friends, Elaine, she said, Tana, I'm looking for the certain cookie. And I said, you had me a cookie. Like, what? What cookie? And so she said, there's a cookie that's the shape of the White House, and it's a sugar cookie. And so I had to find it. And so Elaine found it, and we grabbed the cookie, and it was the best sugar cookie. It was like a sprinkled sugar cookie. So I put it on a White House napkin. I didn't steal this one. And I took a picture. And I said to my daughter, Tori, I said, I'm going to try to save this cookie for you. But the cookie didn't make it. So from the food to the champagne to the drinks to the decorations to the symphony, violinists and harpists, and the music was amazing, and trumpets, and I mean, playing Christmas carols like as if it was the radio. And then I got a tip from some Secret Service saying, "Hey, Tana, President Trump is coming, and he'll want to see you." I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay." So I said, well, where should I go? And he said, post up right here. You'll be the first one that he sees when he comes down the stairs. So Curtis is like, oh, come here. So-and-so wants to see you and so-and-so wants to take pictures with you. And I was like, yeah, I need to take a time out because I'm not going to miss this opportunity. President Trump and Melania are coming down the stairs. And lo and behold, he comes around the corner and he sees me and we make eye contact and he always points to me and calls me a star. And it was so beautiful to see him. And I told him, thank you. And I told him from all of you who love him. And I realized a lot of my following doesn't love Trump. And that's a shame. I don't want to say that's okay, but it is okay. To each his own. I hope that I'll convert you. But if I haven't already, then I'm sorry, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose a friend over this. But I just want to let you know that I said thank you to him from all of us who do love him and do thank him for what he has done for us. I said thank you for the small business owners that have sent me numerous emails and stopped me in the street saying, tell him thank you. What he has done for us is amazing. And so I told him thank you. I told Melania she looked gorgeous. Oh my gosh, when does she not? And I just looked at those two in just awe of the fact that, these people take so much grief and hardship and abuse, really, in my opinion, for trying to make America great again and trying to do the right thing for us and trying to build us back up to being a country that's respected and loved and not taking advantage of and safe again. And I just looked at him and I just thought, this man is doing it. And I was so proud again, as I always am. And so it was great to see him and thank them. And then I went to meandering, and then I ate some more because, I didn't have a lot of wiggle room in my dress. And I figured, well, now that I saw the boss, I could let it all hang out. Not like that, but in the dress. Oh, you guys are talking, and I should be looking at you. But anyways, I'll look at those in just a second. And maybe, Paul, you can pipe in if something is of importance, and we can scroll them back. But anyways, I just wanted to recap that, from the diplomat's room to the food to the decorations to my friend Eric Branstad went with his wife Adrienne, and Curtis went with me, and that was everybody from Iowa. And I saw a few close friends of the family. I saw a few people from the campaign staff. I saw a lot of people from the RNC. Apparently it was a friends and family of the president and Melania. And I was honored to be there, and I was honored to bring my husband. And we stayed at the Trump Hotel, which, if you guys haven't been, I highly recommend it. The Trump Washington, D.C. hotel is first class all the way. Every detail is completely executed and thought out, and it's amazing. So I just have to say, it was a great trip. It was a wonderful perk. And we're going to be getting started for the 2020 campaign. I'm waiting to hear back from my connections to just say when and where. Have to confirm that I am able to do some of the other projects that I'm working on. Paul and I are working on a reality TV show that I know some of you are aware of. Some of you have been involved in helping us shoot the pilot, but I've got a lot of things cooking. And I'm not slowing down anytime soon, but I definitely know that it's going to be hard, this 2020 campaign, and President Trump knows that he would need somebody like me who loves him, who's loyal to him, who can build a great team. And there's a lot of you watching right now that I'll call you if I can hire a team. I'm waiting for the go-ahead. And you'll hear from me because you are amazing. And a lot of you are the reason why he is in the White House today, and I've never forgot that. I know who the good people are. I know who the people who suck are. I know who the people who didn't work are. I know who the people who bent over backwards and did everything in their power to get a vote are. I know the people who never opened their mouth to ever get him a vote, who they are. And so if I have a say, I'll be trimming the fat and making sure that we've got a good team. So you can count on that. But anyways, I wanted to share with you all something that I thought could be helpful, because now we're sliding right in to the Christmas season. And I've decided I'm not going to say happy holidays anymore and worry about who I offend. I've got all sorts of friends that are for all different religions. People that know me know that I'm a Christian. I'm not going to ever deny or apologize for that. However, I respect everybody else's opinion or their decision to follow whatever religion they follow. But the old happy holidays, happy whatever it is that we used to say to be politically correct, I'm not saying it anymore, because President Trump is our president, and he said it's okay to say Merry Christmas anymore. And Merry Christmas again. So I'm going to say Merry Christmas. So I had decided that I struggle sometimes around the Christmas holidays, because I am a person who tries to do so much, cram so much in one day, as Paul knows and John knows, and many of you who work with me know, I have a hard time saying no. And so I just decided, why don't I enjoy this more? And so I was sitting on the airplane, actually heading out to Palm Springs with Tori, and she's like, get the decorations and do this and do that, and are we going to do this, are we going to do that? And I'm getting emails, being invited to places, and I'm getting these emails going, I don't even want to go to this. And so I said, I'm going to write a blog called "'Tis the Season to Be Jolly," right? Because we're supposed to be jolly. And sometimes I'm not so jolly inside. Of course, I always have a smile on my face, but I'm thinking, I hate to shop. I hate to buy gifts because I'm not that great of a gift giver. I want to spend time with my loved ones. I don't want to go to places that I don't want to go. So I thought, I'm sure a lot of you watching feel the same way. And so what if I were to come up with a guide that could be helpful to not only myself, but also to you? And so I did. So I am going to put up my blog, which is called 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, on my website as soon as I get done this episode. So look for it tomorrow, why don't we say, at heytana.com. And it's going to be a guide to help make the holiday season less stressful, how to make your Christmases better, how to make you happier and healthier. And so I'm just going to tease you guys a little bit with what's in that, because I started doing a sort of an audit of, okay, what do I hate? What aggravates me? What do I love? What fills me up? What makes me happy? What do I absolutely regret doing? And so I just put it all together and came up with a guide. So I wanted to tell you that, let's see what it was. Okay. So make a list and check it twice, Santa does that. Well, so I figured I'm going to make a list of what I just said, what I love, what I don't love, what I hate, what I despise, what I look forward to, what I regret, and put it down. And so I said to myself, okay, I love getting Christmas cards, but I hate doing them. Probably because I'm a little bit last minute, and to get all four of us together to get the perfect Christmas shot is difficult. So I figured I hate to do it. Not because I hate you guys, not because I don't want to buy the stamp, not because, well, I actually do hate addressing the envelope. So I do hate that part. I'm not cheap and don't mind the stamp part, but I do hate writing it out. I'm not going to get my kids to write it out as much as I wish that it was. And so I decided that I am not sending out a Christmas card because I don't enjoy it. So guess what? That's my deal. I don't care if you all go, she is so rude. I can't believe it. We gave her one. I really don't care. At the end of the day, I really don't care if you gave me one and I didn't give you one, what you're going to think of me. So I'd like you all to see my last Christmas card that's going to go out. And that was one that I had made 2 years ago. I hired my photographer, my family photographer, Wayne Belling. He does a fantastic photo, but to get Miles and Tori together, to get Curtis to dress up, which he really didn't that day, but like to pose, when he's posing all the time for TV, to get the location that, is secluded and people aren't in there, more or less we got to rent the place out so that Curtis doesn't have to hear the weather forecast and how's he always wrong and gets a paycheck and all that. And then I got to come, acting like the pit bull that I am because I don't allow anyone to talk poorly about my husband. I will chew you up and eat you out. And that happens. So to get the place, to get the photographer, to get the kids, to get us dressed in our best, it's not worth it. So that was our Christmas card, even though that picture of Curtis and I at the diplomat's room is really picture perfect. I'm probably not going to do a Christmas card. So that's just the tip of check your list and check it twice. And if you don't like doing it, don't do it. And that's what I've decided. I'm not doing it. The next tip is gladly RSVP. No. And I know that sounds super rude, but I'm going to do it. And I actually already did it. So when I was flying, I got an invitation to, I'm not going to say it because they're probably watching, but I got an invitation to something I don't want to go to. Haven't wanted to go to it for 10 years. Well, how many years? See, Tori is 20. I haven't wanted to go to this thing for 15 years. And our kids were in a group together. Okay, they don't play anymore together. They grew up. They're out of MOPS. I'm going to just put that out there. Okay, mother of preschoolers. And anyways, I get invited. One, it's a cookie exchange. And I love cookies, but I don't want to get fat. Okay, so I'm not eating cookies much. Well, that's a lie. I am eating cookies, but don't want to go to a cookie exchange where I'm going to get 4 dozen cookies, where I get to put them in a tin, bring them home. My husband, who has a sugar cookie problem, he can't control himself, nor does he want to get fat. So bringing the drug into the house is probably not a good thing, and I'm not going to do it. So when I get the tin, what do? I eat them, and then I give them to Curtis, and he eats them. And so I don't not go to that party because of the cookies. I not want to go to that party because all the ladies want to do, besides drink, which I do like to drink the champagne, the the reason I don't want to go is all those ladies want to do is sit around and gossip about the other women that aren't there at the party. And I'm not a big gossiper. Actually, I'm trying not to be a gossiper at all. The only time I gossip is within my family, and my daughter has checked me to the curb on that one. So I'm trying not to gossip anymore. But I don't gossip about friends or neighbors or women who aren't in the present company. And so I just decided I am RSVPing no, and I did. So I RSVP'd no. I think the message was sent loud and clear. So don't do things that you don't want to do. One. Two, RSVP no. So if you don't enjoy the party, don't go. And in the blog, I talk about a party that I am very excited to attend, and I will attend that. Let's see. Oh, the next tip was, I couldn't remember it, so I have to look, is get your rest and sleep. And this is a stressful time of the year. As I said, a lot of people like me don't like to shop, don't know what to buy. It's also stressful if you don't have the funds to buy gifts. That adds an additional stress on top of it. And a lot of people are running ragged. And if you're not getting your sleep, you're not getting your rest, your immune system is down, you're going to get sick. That's not what we need now, is it? So get your rest, get your sleep, and you will be a lot happier. And then the last tip, I think this is really important in the guide that I want to share with you all, and that is to keep the traditions alive on the things that you really want to do. So I started saying, okay, we do this, we do that. Okay, I really don't care about cutting down my Christmas tree anymore at the tree farm. That ship has sailed. That was cute when the kids were little and Miles and Curtis could get out the saw and me and Tori, make the hot chocolate and put the marshmallows on the top and we could act like the Griswold family, and that was all wonderful, and we did it for years. Guess what? Not happening. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care about that tradition. The tradition that I do care about is making my Sunday sauce, making my homemade Italians. If you don't know what that is, that's my homemade Italian sauce. I'm also very excited about firing up my pizzelle iron. Tori and I love to make pizzelles. We make dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens, like this high. Let's see, can you see me? That high stack of pizzelles. We eat about 50 before we even finish, but it's a lot of fun. It makes the house smell good. It's something that we love doing. And I have a 20-year-old college daughter that I don't get to spend a lot of time with. It's a tradition that I love. Miles enjoys my homemade Italian spaghetti sauce tremendously, so we're doing it. We're having our homemade Italian dinner. We enjoy going to the Christmas candlelight service, and those are the traditions that we're going to keep alive. So I suggest to all of you out there to do what you want to do. It's like you feel selfish and you go, I don't want to be selfish and do what I want to do, but at the end of the day, do what you want to do. And that's what I'm going to do. So anyways, I also thought I wanted to say thank you to all of you out there who send me stuff that you're passionate about or that you just created. And Trisha Hope is a new friend of mine on Facebook. She wrote this book, Just the Tweets, and it's so cool. It's actually a book of the first year's tweets that the president made. And it's really exciting. I wish my tweet was in here, but he did it when he was on the campaign. He tweeted at me about my son, which was really cool. But Trisha made this book, and it's a very, very nice quality book. It's hardback. I recommend you all go and take a look at it if you can, and you can afford it. Go buy it. I'll have Trisha log in here on Make a Comment and tell us, where we can get it. But I find that really exciting. I love when you guys send me stuff because I will wear it. I will talk about it. I will pimp it if I think it's good. A lot of you send me stuff that it's not so good, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your trying, giving it your all. There's nothing wrong with giving it a good effort. But sometimes we have hits and sometimes we have misses. And this appears to be definitely a hit. I'm excited for Trisha, and I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who do think of me and send me your stuff. I'm very excited to receive it, and I'll wear it with pride. So I know I haven't had a chance to reply to some of the comments that you all have made, so maybe if Paul wouldn't mind. Well, there we go. Christy says, like President Trump, deregulate and more time and money. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see the rest. More time and money. Sorry, I touched something.
Honey, you're on a.
What, honey?
You're on a
Oh, I'm on a roll. I know. Have I taken a breath? I must. So, oh, good. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, Paul, people want to hear you talk. Last week they were wondering where you were, and I told them I had to sneak off to sunny California, but people want to hear you. So, yeah, they like your accent. Oh, that's awesome. Absolutely. And you can pick and choose that you're the boss now that you're the dad. That's awesome. Why am I thirsty? I don't have any champagne. Then, and another thing I'm going to throw out is karma is a wonderful thing. I'll tell you why. Well, I try to live my life doing good. Everywhere I go, everybody I meet, I try to think, how can I make their day better? How can I shine my light? And that's how I live my life. And so I checked in at my flight in American Airlines and asked the lady if there was a way I could get an upgrade to first class because just, I love I don't know what I'm going to say here. I mean, I love first class. Two, I love being a boss. Three, I love showing Curtis a great time. And four, I love perks. So, anyways, I asked for it and she gave it to me. And, nowadays, people aren't doing anything for anybody anymore for any reason other than what's in it for me. And so when this lady goes, well, actually, there's a large list for the upgrades for first class. They know for the wait list, I guess is what she said. And I said, oh, okay, well, I appreciate you checking for me. And I was nice and had no expectations and whatever. And so, anyways, about 5 minutes later, she goes, I took care of you, honey. She goes, I got you what you wanted. I go, oh my gosh. So I gave her a big old hug. Where were we? Oh, DC, and everybody's looking at me like, that's not what we do. We aren't hugging random strangers, but I am. And so we were, flying first class, and it was great. So that's what made me think of I don't need any more champagne, but it was fun. Now there was something else to that story. What was it? Hang on. The champagne. Oh, karma. So then I got home, and then this is all on my Insta story, so I apologize if y'all follow me there, but so then there was this note came in the mail. It said, a thank you, Graham. And I thought, I've never received a thank you, Graham, in all my half-century years of living this planet. What's a thank you, Graham? And it was from my chiropractor just saying thank you for more or less being awesome and doing great work and keep winning. And I was like, that was so sweet, so unexpected, so nice. And so then I was able to squeeze in a yoga class today, and I went to go see my favorite yoga teacher, and she had a little present for me. She had a Christmas essential oils that smells so wonderful. And I said, this is so sweet. Like, thank you. And so I came home and I was thinking about, like, what is this? What are all these gifts and what are all these blessings? And immediately I thought, it's karma. So the more good that you can do, and I'm not tooting my horn and going, oh, aren't I so amazing? I got such great karma. I do have great karma. And I'm saying this is a lesson that we could all take a note from. And that is, if you do good with no exceptions and no expectations and no hesitation, then guess what? People want to do good things back to you. And so I wanted to leave you guys with that and just say, in this week, until we get into episode next week of TNN, go about your week and report back to me what doing good, how the karma and the universe is blessing you, because that would be really cool to see and to hear. So let's do it. Hashtag TNN. Whatever you want to do, put it on my Facebook page. I love seeing great stories that are feel good. So I want to hear them. Cindy, your positive attitude is so great. Yesterday I was oh, wait a minute. Did I know that? No. Yesterday was 1 year my mom died. I needed this. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. That's so hard. My husband just recently lost his father, and I know that the holidays are going to be very sad for him. And I am just going to be there for him, and I'm going to honor his father's traditions that I know Curtis loved. And I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And I am so glad that you watched TNN last week, because you had told me that your daughter had recently moved away and you were alone, and that you could come on the sofa with my family. And that's what I want the Tana News Network to be about. Loving one another, loving each other, loving the world around us, and spreading positivity. And you are so right, Christy, that the golden rule and positivity reaps blessings. And I am so grateful for you all giving me a platform to spread the word, because I know you all share this page. I've seen you share my videos, and what you're doing is not only supporting me, but you are letting the message get larger. It's kind of like my pastor says, if you are a person of light like I am, the more people that see you, the more blessings that I can sprinkle onto other people, so that they can sprinkle onto their family and the world around them. And that's what my goal is. So I thank you for sharing the videos, sharing the page, letting your friends come aboard. If you haven't already liked my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, I'm there at Hey Tana. You can find me. But this is the platform where I combine everything I want to share with you guys in 1 week, and we go live, and I spill my heart and soul out to you guys and tell you what worked and what didn't work, and what blessings I'm receiving, and what not. I'm not receiving not any blessings, which is a good thing, but I don't look for that. But if I had, like last week, no, 2 weeks ago, remember when I had trouble, technical difficulties? Well, that was a struggle, and I shared that with you. I mean, that's a small, minor one, but still, I'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly with you guys, because at TNN, we give it to you real, straight, without a chaser, never fake news. And I just want to thank you guys for spending your Thursday night with me, because as you know, I know time is your most valuable asset and resource, and you shared it with me, so that means a ton. So, Paul, if you don't think we have anything out there pressing, then I will let everybody go and say good night. There they are. Oh, well, thank you. That's so sweet. And also, Trisha, she shared on Facebook that she lost a son. Oh, it breaks my heart when I hear those stories. But what I love about people sharing their heart with each other, like I do with you guys, is we can support one another. And maybe somebody out there is experiencing what Trisha experienced, or Cindy losing a mother. I haven't, thank God, ever lost a child, or ever haven't lost my mother yet. So I can't relate. But maybe with the army that we have and the following that we have here at TNN, somebody can offer some words that will just touch her heart and make her happy, and make her smile right now at a very difficult time. So I love hearing your stories. It breaks my heart when I see sad ones, but I'm glad that you're sharing, because we are an amazing network of people. And I love you guys, and I love the fact that, we are doing good. So thank you for these kind words. I appreciate you guys. Oh, they're waving at you, Paul. Yeah. So, what'd you say? Right. Yes. Wave this way. Nobody would dare. So, well, that's sweet that Kathy shared with me. Cindy, I appreciate that. Trisha, I appreciate you sharing your difficult time. And we're wrapping everybody in prayers. And I appreciate you guys sharing the video. And go out and make this week a wonderful week. And until next week, go out and be wonderful human beings like I know you are, and share the love, share the light, share the message. Thanks so much. Have a great night.